Hey guys, this is Collin Moshman for CardRunners.com. Today we have the low blind portion of a heads-up sit and go played between two regs. So we're going to go through all of the low blind hands that take place in this game. Hero opens 6-10 off and c-bets. Our plan if villain check raises is going to be to flat, so we have second pair. It's a process of elimination spot. It's definitely too strong to fold. There's really no point in 3-betting, so we're betting with the plan of flatting a check raise and then evaluating turn if he check calls. Jack 8 offsuit here, he likes to 3-bet. Now, one thing that's really important is constructing our approach for the game as a whole and not just individual hands. So if we're playing against an unknown or recreational player, then I pretty much never 3-bet a hand like Jack 8 off early in the match. I would just want to see how he was playing, take a more small ball approach. But against a reg that we have history with, it's very reasonable to 3-bet light, to barrel, to generally take steps, to remain unpredictable. So that's the rationale, most likely, behind Hero's decision to take a hand that we could otherwise profitably flat and make a late 3-bet instead. Open the pocket nines. So definitely give a lot of thought to your approach for the entire game. And again, I would really advise against weaker recreational unknown opponents starting off with a more small ball approach. So Hero opens 5-3 off, which is a slightly marginal open. Generally, I would open around top 75%. And tend to discard 5-3 off. So a close decision, but not unreasonable. Here's c-bets, and we get check called here. So when villain check calls this flop, his range looks like deuce X, 6X hands, possibly 10X, although we would also expect him to check raise those hands a lot. And then also hands like, for example, ace of hearts, 8 of spades, King Jack with 1 heart. So those kinds of hands also we definitely expect to be in his check call range. So he checks again, and we have to decide whether we're going to barrel here and how far we're willing to take this bluff. Now, there are a couple of considerations here. So one is more of an exploitive one. We can think, okay, in practice, what is his range here? How likely is he to fold? And the other is to think about this from more of a game theory perspective. And 5 high is pretty much the worst hand that we can show up with here. So from that regard, if we're constructing a balanced range, then we want to be bluffing with the worst hands in our range, which have the most to gain from getting our opponent to fold. So here it does go ahead and bet again. We can definitely get some hands like 6X to most likely fold this turn card. And instead villain check calls, we catch maybe a little bit of showdown value on this river. So we are beating, for example, a hand like one of the hands we gave as part of his flop check calling range. It'd be a hand like ace of hearts, 8 of spades, something like that. So we are beating some hands like that, which would make it reasonable to check back and give up now that we're no longer at the absolute bottom of our range. So here does he like to go ahead and fire again, represent a flush, a set, some straights. So for example, maybe 5-4 suited, he went ahead and barreled flop and turn. And in addition, even if, for example, villain does have a hand like 10X, they didn't check raise the flop, this is going to be a fairly tough call for him to make. So this is a close spot. I would often just check back, given that we do catch the 3. But here it does elect to turn this hand into a bluff and runs into a jack.